All right, we're back. The Bears, the Raiders, the grades from the game. This is PFF grades. We go over the stats and analysis of it. Earlier this morning, I put out a newer segment type of video where I break down some of the film, some of the behind the scenes stuff, some stuff from the locker room. Compiled that overnight, into the night, and then did it overnight, so you guys could see some of that. So I'm going to link that in the description of the video if you haven't seen that one. Let's jump right into the grades of this game.
Down, sports making Chicago proud.
All right, for this one now, there's the record above us. We got to get the bear down pointer on here. Here we are. All right, so there's the divisional standings, tight division. We already said that earlier, so we're going to leave that. There's 2 games left to be played. So we got the Bengals and the Broncos tonight. And before that one, we got the Jets and the Dolphins. So one of these teams will no longer be defeated, but this is your overall standings. And man, it feels a lot better to be at 2-2 than it did at 0-2. So the Bears are definitely trending in the right direction. Same with the Chiefs there. You see the Chiefs were 0-2. They're 2-2 as well. So some teams moving in the right direction, some teams moving in the wrong direction. You see the Ravens going to 1-3, which is I'd be worried if I was a Ravens fan. Cardinals started off 2-0. Now they're 0-2. So those 2 games tonight, and then we'll have the weekly division, or the weekly standings will be set. But jumping straight into what we do on here. So first we're going to go over Caleb, because this is the biggest thing. This is last week. So here's last week's video, what we did, and then here's this week's stack. So I'll show you how it changes. This is from this game. We'll move me out. Let's just I'll make me tiny. There we go. So it's Caleb. You guys know it's Caleb. You know it's Caleb. All right. So to me, I think Caleb is absolutely the sorry, I was grabbing that pointer like it was an actual pointer. It's this one. I think Caleb's the biggest highlight from this game. I think absolutely he was the difference maker. In this game, there were 13 defensive pressures allowed, right down here. 1 sack taken. His pressure turned into sack for this game was 7.7%. So he's up from 17th to 12th in pressures taken from sacks. He made this offensive line look better than they are. There was a lot of struggles in this game. From Drew Dahlman having probably his worst game as a Bear, probably one of the worst in his career, to Braxton Jones, to Ozzie Trapillo, to Theo Benedict. All of them did not play well. And Caleb eluded pressure and put himself in a situation where that's the biggest developmental thing for Caleb so far. He's taking that pressure off of his line. He's smart. He sees the field better. If he doesn't get rid of it quick, he finds a way to get rid of it, with one exception. He got sacked once, and really that was a quicker type of sack. So when he sits back there, this time to throw of 3.35 in this game, that's why I told you guys I'm going to stop tracking the time to throw, because players like, Pat Mahomes has come down quite a bit. Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, they have high time to throw too. It's whether or not they see the field, process, analyze, and get the ball out appropriately to be able to do their job. The other thing on this one, his completion percentage 59.5%, but you can see there were 2 dropped balls, 3 batted down balls. So his adjusted completion percent 72.7, which is acceptable. It's low. It's not, you want to be up in the higher 70s, into the 80s is where your top players in the league are. In fact, you look right here. 71.7 was his average for the year last week. Now it's 71.7. He had a 72.7 on this week, so it stayed the same. So he's right there at 29. That's the one area that needs to improve, is his accuracy, but he still finds ways to win games. Unlike other quarterbacks, Jordan Love, who continually throws the ball away, turns it over, fumbles it in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. Caleb is showing, he's stacking weeks and showing that he can make big plays and win the game when it matters. And we're not used to that with the Bears. We're used to the Bears turning the ball over, having, Justin Fields, the Broncos game, several of these games, where the Lions game, where things just went south at the wrong time, where he didn't protect the ball, didn't hold on to it, threw an interception. Caleb is showing that we have our franchise quarterback. So that narrative people have in the hall, it's got to start changing as he stacks weeks. And that's what I've said the whole time on this channel, is stack weeks. We've got to see the weeks get stacked. So stacking weeks, and he'll start to turn all the naysayers, and it'll turn the narrative. So for his overall grade, he's now at 11th for the year. He was 11th last week too, but it's 75.0 his overall grade. He had a rougher week for his overall grade. Max Crosby put some pressure on him. And no shock in this game for the Raiders. Max Crosby was the highest graded player for the Raiders. He absolutely had a phenomenal game. He didn't get all the sacks. He had an interception. He didn't, he had a couple pressures. He had a couple patted down balls, but he was constantly causing havoc for the Bears. So, great player. As Caleb said after the game in the press conference post game, the best player he's ever played against. He clearly made a difference. But what I'm impressed by is how Caleb got rid of the ball and eluded that pressure and took the team down and won the game for him. So grade, same as last week, 75 is where he's at. 71.7 on his accuracy. That does need to come up. That needs to come up significantly. Passer rating is down from 7th to 14th. That'll happen when you have a game where you didn't have your cleanest game, but all that matters is wins and losses, right? At the end of the day, and he was the cause of that. But his pressures turned into sacks down, so that's a very good thing. 2 turnover-worthy plays, 2 big-time throws. So there's some things to say. This wasn't the cleanest game. It wasn't a perfect game, of course. We won the game, and he was the key cause. On offense, Caleb was the offense. So Caleb was the reason, and it's good to see him put the team on his shoulders. All right, overall offensive players. I was a little surprised, but not shocked that Kyle Monangai was the highest graded offensive player. It wasn't just his running, but I had to go back and look a couple pass blocks. I think I'm going to do some all 22 later because there's some people on Twitter not understanding that Theo Benedict, Ozzie Trapillo, neither of them played well. In fact, Ozzie, it looked clunky. The thing is, certain content creators, if they put something positive out there, which they're trying to do for clicks and for positivity, they're not giving on this channel, we give the realistic takes. I give you what it is, no matter what. It's just the truth. It's what happened in the game. Theo Benedict, Ozzie Trapillo, Braxton Jones, none of them had great games. So people saying Ozzie came in and played phenomenally, it just isn't true. You see right here, his grade for pass blocking was 30.8. It was the lowest on the entire team. And the thing was, I should stand up and just show it, but he was clunky in his movement. He didn't have a wide base. And when Max Crosby would make some kind of stunt, any kind of move, his legs would come together and he would stand tall. And for a 6'8" guy, you got to stay wide on your base. So I might do it all 22 on him and Kyle Monangai and some of the other things from this game. I'm going to see if I have time to do that. If not, just know I've reviewed it. And the biggest thing with Ozzie is he needs the reps. So Ben Johnson said after the game, it was predetermined. It wasn't that Braxton Jones got benched. Like it's funny the narratives people come up with when they don't know the whole story. Ozzie has been increasing every week. They said that post press conference. Ozzie has been improving every week, so they wanted to give him reps. So it was predetermined that they had Braxton, who did not have the best first half. You can see he played one half, and it's right down here, run blocking especially. He got 8 up. He got 8 up. So they pulled him out of the game. They had Theo at left tackle and Ozzie at right tackle, and neither of them did good either. But Caleb, like I said, Caleb really made the determinant. He made the difference on this game by getting rid of the ball. Now he got tripped up and he fumbled the ball, recovered the ball twice actually, threw the one interception. But that interception is not really on. I mean, that was really Max Crosby playing linebacker and timing it perfectly, batting it in the air. It wasn't that Caleb had a bad throw, and I might have to do an all 22 on that play too. So we'll try to do that this week. I have to balance things, but we'll try to get into it. But here's your offensive players. Really, Kyle Monangai needs some more reps. I think if anything from this game, you need to see that he needs more reps. He needs to get more reps. Pass blocking, Drew Dahlman was low, but his run blocking, which is what he was brought over for, he's the only good run blocker on the team. So Braxton's usually good at run blocking, but he did not have a good run blocking game at all. So that's worrisome. But Drew Dahlman had his rougher game of his career. Rome, Lamade, DJ, DeAndre Swift, all wide receivers. I'm not going to put too much weight into these, but they did a decent job. And then you get down here. Jonah Jackson has not played like he's worth the money so far. Same with Ozzie Trapillo, Braxton Jones, and of course Cole Kmet. He did have a rough game, and this is what I pointed out before I even knew the grades. Like when I was defending him this morning on the video and to people on Twitter. Yeah, it was his worst receiving game, his worst, it didn't look clean. But pass blocking, I noticed him. Without him, there would have been a couple more sacks because he saved Ozzie. He saved Theo. He looked really good in pass pro. And DeAndre did as well. I didn't notice Kyle, but I got to go back and look. Joe Tooney looked good the whole game. So that's all I can say for Cole Kmet. He's got to improve, but he did save our bacon on several plays there for pass pro for protecting Caleb. So here is the actual pressure stats. You can see, bring me a little bit higher. You can see the team pass block efficiency jumped from 25th after week 2, 16th after week 3, and now we're 11th in the league at pass block efficiency. And the biggest thing with that, it's Caleb, man. Caleb is making the offensive line look better. The offensive line is better than last year. I'm not trying to say they're not. The offensive line is actually a good unit. I like the offensive line. Caleb is saving their bacon quite a bit. So here's your pressures. You had 1 hurry from Cole Kmet, 2 from Braxton Jones, 1 from Durham Smythe, 1 from Jonah Jackson, 2 from Theo, 2 from Drew Dahlman, and 2 from Ozzie. No sacks shown here. There was a sack. I wonder who that. I'm positive that one goes on Drew Dahlman. I don't know why they're not showing it here, but I'm positive that was on Drew Dahlman with the stunt that came around. Drew was out of position, didn't pick him up quick enough. We're just reviewing the play in my head. I'm positive that's Drew Dahlman's sack. So that'll correct itself. That'll correlate eventually, but this is right when the grades came out. I snippet that this, but you can see the pass blocking grades. DeAndre Swift, the best one. Cole Kmet, Kyle Monangai, Joe Tooney, Braxton Jones, Durham Smythe, Jonah Jackson, Stephen Carlson, Theo Benedict, Drew Dahlman, and Ozzie Trapillo at the bottom. The rest of these weren't in pass pro. So that's the protecting. Ugh. Got to improve. So here's week 4 total offensive grade. You can see where the offensive linemen stack. Here's the season now. So including week 4, the entire season, we have 43 pressures allowed. 15 of those have come from Braxton. 2 games ago against the Cowboys, good game. This last game only played half the game and not his best game. Same for Theo Benedict. Same for Ozzie Trapillo. Same for Drew Dahlman. Drew Dahlman's worst game came right there. He's got 9 pressures. So work to be done. It wasn't the worst in the world, but work to be done there on the offensive line. Let's move to the defense. Give some positivity after I've been doom and gloom, right? So Kevin Byard, Tyreek Stevenson, obviously with your highest grades, 94. Kevin Byard, the highest grade of anybody in the entire game, both teams. So Kevin Byard had a game, obviously. Multiple interceptions, great coverage. Tyreek Stevenson as well, interception to pass breakup. They both had pass breakups. In on every play, 1 reception on 4 attempts, and the 1 reception wasn't really his fault. He looked great. His NFL passer rating against him was 0. Tyreek Stevenson had himself a game. Andrew Billings, I was too tough on because I watched the one game the one play where he missed a tackle, and I kind of set that, how you get, so I can admit when I'm wrong. I had preset in my head he had a bad game because of it. When I look at the stats, you'll see here in a second, he actually played a good game. So I'm grateful Billings stepped up when Grady Jarrett was out, but the entire run defense had me kind of negative on the whole game. So you can't blame me for being negative on them. You can see down here at the bottom some of these grades: Dio Dangbo, Jonathan Ford, Tano, Pessano, whatever you say, Shamar Turner. Some of the Jervon Dexter's not playing up to it. He's got to, after a great game, he's got to come back around and have another game. He can't have this. So here's your defensive line. Pass rushing, Andrew Billings had the best grade, 22% win rate. Didn't realize that. Kwani B had a 14% win rate. No sacks. That's not okay. For a team that's playing what was heralded as one of the worst offensive lines in the Raiders, we made their offensive line look phenomenal in both run pro and pass pro. So it wasn't good. Montez Sweat with 3 pressures, but not really getting a lot of wins over the 10.5. Not terrible. All of this needs to improve. Austin Booker is coming back after the bye, hopefully. But here's your run block, your run defense. Dio Dangbo, the worst on the team. Tano, Jonathan Ford. Noah Sewell, obviously the best, and he did play really well. I see here's the 1 missed tackle from Andrew Billings, the one I saw. He did have 9.5% stop percentage. This average depth of tackle of 5 from Montez Sweat is not going to cut it at all. Shamar Turner at 4. We've got to fix the defensive line somehow. I'm not going to spend too much time here because it's kind of depressing. All right, and then coverage. Here's the fun. Kevin Byard, 94.4. Tyreek Stevenson. You can see right here, a pass breakup by Tyreek Stevenson, 2 interceptions by Kevin Byard, 1 interception by Tyreek Stevenson. Sorry, I got to bring me back up here. Boop. There we go. NFL pass rating is one of the things I like to look at. Kevin Byard, 40.3 for a safety is phenomenal. That is really good. 0 for Tyreek Stevenson in this game. Let's see down here. Josh Blackwell's only in on 1 play. Jonathan Owens, man, Nashawn Wright needs to step it up a little bit. So there's some work to be done, but those two really, Kevin Byard, Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, they really saved our bacon. And Josh Blackwell, obviously, with the blocked punt at the end of the game, the huge thing there. So those are your grades for the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who stuck out to you? Who surprised you with their grade? Wasn't quite what you might have thought that it was supposed to be. Because, you know, sometimes, like I said, with Andrew Billings, I stand corrected. Like, I had to go back and look, and he actually was in on quite a few plays. He was there for the big stop on Ashton Genty as well. It's just the one missed tackle in my head was stuck out. So, you know, I was a little hard on him, and I've been pretty hard on him all offseason. So as a backup, I like him. We really need to have some improved, you know, the backups, like I said on the broadcast, on the national broadcast, the backups are what's going to win you championships. So having Andrew Billings is great, but we really need some help on that defensive line. I really hope that we can figure something out there. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you don't mind hitting that like button, subscribing, sharing with your friends. I mean, we'd love to see the channel grow a little bit. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, da Bears and bear down.